Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akman Akwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. And this one's titled, If You Give the Enemy Wood, He'll Build a Bonfire. All right, we'll get into that in just a minute. Lord willing, the audio should sound a little bit better. This is an in transit lesson. I just got off work, so I had a little bit of it done before work, but it was like 4 or 5 minutes of it. And I said, let me just restart up entirely, so I can just have it all as one. Plus, I had to edit some stuff out anyway because some of my private information was in there on my Instagram, and didn't want all that. So, yeah, man. So I got this little mic. It's like $12 off of Amazon. The quality isn't the best, but that's not really. I mean, it doesn't sound so far away as it usually does when I have the phone. So it's technically lower quality, but it sounds higher quality in ways because you can hear me better. So hey, it's like $12. I figured, hey, fuck it, I'll spend it. It's a little lavalier mic. They have more expensive ones. I may get in the future, $40. But for now, this one's doing it. I'm not sure on the battery life, so I guess we'll just have to see. So let's go ahead and get it. Again, as I said, the title of this lesson is If You Give the Enemy Wood, He'll Build a Bonfire. Okay? If you give the enemy wood, he'll build a bonfire. And this is really for you jakes out there. And, of course, you worldly jakes, because the ones in the truth ain't going to be doing this type of shit. And this is the type of, ape out, coon out shit that you'll see our people doing. All right? And just because I say ape out or coon out don't mean it's just fucking, so-called black folk. It's you got, you can want out, all right, and do all that shit too. All right, it's car be acting a fool too. But the problem is, our people will go and act like a fucking idiot on camera, all right, we're around cameras, doing any sort of ignorant shit, whether they, go up or they might not even necessarily be on camera, but in a situation where a camera could easily be put on. You got to realize this is a digital age, man. We all got phones, all right, they're all capable of, most of us got iPhones these days, or Androids, all smartphones nonetheless, and they're all capable of 4K video. So not only will you be showing your ass online, you'll be showing your ass in high res and high definition, right? So in 60 frames a second, 4K, you showing your ass, man. So just know that, Jake. When you go and act a fool, anybody can pull out a camera and paint a narrative, man. So if you give the enemy wood, he'll build a bonfire. And what does that mean? If you have an enemy already and they don't like your monkey ass, right? That's what they think of our people. They call us jigaboos, spics, wetbacks, all right, tonto, fucking all sorts of different types of different racial slurs, right? As Deuteronomy says, bywords, right? We're gonna be called all these different bywords, man. They're gonna call us these different things. So we already get treated like that and said we're violent, or we do this, or we live off the system, or we're ratchet, or we're ghetto, or we hate this, or we hate that, or we're ignorant, or all these different things that they say about our people. They're already going to say those things, but they're already going to have a fire going, right? But why would you, as a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, go and give our enemy firewood, all right, to make that fire bigger? And what does that mean? By going, these videos, and these little YNs and shit out there, all right, wiling out, all right, stealing, pulling guns on people, acting crazy with fucking gas station clerks, all right, black woman out there, all right, you're a big fucking culprit, all right, you're one of the biggest culprits of this shit, going out there acting ratchet on the fucking, on the video, man, all right, going out there, oh, you ain't gonna do shit, why you here like that? It's just ridiculous, and then, you can't beat it's hard to beat the allegations of our people being unintelligent when you have, two different people, all right? You got the so-called black Latinos and Native Americans, and then you got the ninjas, spics, and fucking running mouths, all right? For the Native Americans, or however you want to do, or the stealing cash, all right? That's your Native American name, stealing cash, all right? Running pockets, all right? You got two different types, all right? Like Chris Rock said, there's black people, and then there's ninjas, all right? It's the same thing. There's Mexican folk, then there's what? There's cholos and vatos and vatas, right? And some of them are actually decent, but they're fucking hoodlums, man. They're hoodlums. And you got the saying, they probably have a Native American slang name. I don't know what it is. Then you have running pockets, right? Give me all your cash immediately, or I'll hit you with this bow and arrow, right? I don't know, but and you say that's a stereotype. Well, our people act like a stereotype, man. Our people act like a stereotype. Okay, white people act like a stereotype. Okay, and they love that stereotype. They don't like it when they get called either, that they're all rapists and murderers, and that they all like doing weird shit with their mothers and dogs. But what do they stay doing? That shit. Okay, so Jake, you can't beat the allegations when you stay doing that shit. You can't beat the stereotypes when you stay doing that shit. All right, and our people are the most intelligent. The so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans are so intelligent. All right, our people are very intelligent. But it's hard to beat the allegations that we're stupid when you got the other half of our side, all right, fucking it up for the rest of the people, man. All right, here it is. You got very intelligent black people out there, very intelligent so-called Mexicans. I'm saying so-called, that's what we call ourselves. We don't call ourselves in this truth, but out in the world, this is really who it's directed to. But then you have that, and look at all the inventions, man. If you look at black inventions, our people done made everything, all right, and that's just black inventions, all right. That's not including Latino and Native American inventions. That would be just about every AC, central cooling, plumbing, the stoplight, computer, the original computer. There's so many different things that was all made by Jake. And when I say Jake, that's short for Israel. His name was Jacob. He wrestled the angels. Name was later changed to Israel, and that's a slang we use. We say Jakes. Jakes refer to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, you Jakes. All right. So it's hard to beat the allegations that we're stupid when, yeah, sure, we have all the records and stuff that we did all this, but they're not looking at that. They're looking at, instead of us saying, "Oh, how you doing? How you doing, my? What's good, my?" And like just being, they don't even say ass. They say ah. All right. It's and you say, oh, that's an accent, man. That's an accent. To an extent, all right. To an extent, there's people out there that have, from Memphis and Philly and all these places that talk normal. All right. You might have a little bit of an accent. You might say, hey, man, how's it going, man? But you ain't gonna be, hey, we'll go, man. That's hood shit. That's coonery. All right. That's ridiculousness. All right. There's the same thing with like the Vato speak, man. All right, you have regular speaking Spanish, and like dragging your shit out. All right, that's like y'all's version of the hood shit. All right, que pasó ese? Dragging it all out, like fucks up, Holmes. It's the same shit, man. It's the same shit, different flavor. All right, it's still shit at the end of the day. All right. So you just got to ask if your shit's chitlin or chorizo flavor. Which one is it, man? It's the same shit. It's the same shit. And Jake on the res, too, out there doing the same shit, acting the same way. Jake acts the same. All right? Just slightly different flavor. Same shit, same fart, just a little bit different smell, right? It's the same shit going on. Okay? And at the end of the day, it's all foolishness, man. And everything, it's not just the so-called black people. It's not just the so-called Latinos. It's not just so-called Native Americans. It's all of our people, all right, combined, acting a fool. And if you act like that around a TV screen, or not a TV screen, but a phone, or anywhere that has a camera, you might be cooning out, all right, right on to live TV where they say, see, these people are blah 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 blah, and you're giving the enemy wood, all right, and now he's built a bonfire, and then you're simple as, I man, they always trying to paint us as bad. They trying to paint us as bad. Well, isn't that you in the video? Isn't that you in the video smashing open that store's window? Well, yeah, but they don't paint us bad. They're gonna paint you bad. Now they got you doing something bad. Of course they're gonna overblow it way more than if it was a white person doing. Why did you? Yeah, but you were in the wrong. All right, yeah, they're in the wrong for persecuting our people like that and showing all of our mistakes and broadcasting our mistakes over theirs. All right, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't have been doing that shit. All right, you're still wrong. It's wicked what you did, man. So now you're on the TV making all of our people look bad, even people that don't even go and coon out like that, right? And now you're getting all of us blamed. Here it is, here it is. I'm a hood, man. I'm from the street, man. That's just how it is, blood. That's just how it is, cuz. That's what it is, man. I'm keeping it real, blood. Yeah. But for the other people that are trying to fucking keep it low key, just trying to go to their jobs, all right, now they have to have the same skin tone as you. Now you're getting all of our people blamed, all right, because you want to act like that. And you think they're going to take the time to differentiate between a hood ninja and a regular working class so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American? No. They're going to see your Mexican, black, a Native American ass on that TV doing stuff, and they're not going to think, oh, well, maybe some of the blacks are all right. Maybe some of the Mexicans are all right. Maybe some of the natives are okay. Or they say Indians. Maybe some of the Indians are okay. They're not going to think about that. They're going to say, look, black, look, brown, look what they're doing. They're tearing up everything. They're ruining our community. And you're over here giving them that wood to burn, man. And then you go and blame them, man. Well, it's just white people she made. They always fuck it. I'm sorry, is it not you robbing in that video? Is it not you shooting that person in that video? Is that not you antagonizing that white man or woman in that video? It is. Okay? Don't give them shit to film, all right? And they'll have less to build a case on you. But Jake, you just give it, just give the shit away, all right? Here, please come make me look bad. God damn, man. It's ridiculous. So, I'm gonna show you some dumb shit. It's like I'm gonna have to edit that out again. God damn it. But I got some saved shit here that's gonna infuriate Jake, that's actually not in the world anymore, that's brought into this ministry and is trying to act right. All right, we do our jobs. All right, we go home. We don't rob. We don't steal. We don't act like a fucking hoodlum. All right, or a thug or a savage. All right, or a blood or a crip. All right, whatever. We're not gangbangers, man. All right, we're not hood. All right, we might have came from the hood. All right, but we don't act like we're from the hood. All right, we act like we have some sense to the best of our ability. Okay, and mind you, in no way am I standing up for no fucking white person at the end of the day. But it comes to a point in time where you should have just let that little fucking white girl walk down the road. Do I think it looks fucking stupid too? Yes, it looks stupid. It looks ridiculous as shit. But I'm not gonna go out of my way and say, hey, you look ridiculous. Take those out of your fucking hair, you white bitch. No. No. All right. And I look so-called white, man. All right. Even though, so-called Latino that really goes back to, Southern Kingdom. But white Mexican, so to speak. But they're not gonna know, all right. And I still wouldn't do it because it's foolishness, man. It's foolishness. It's foolishness. So here you go.
We wear that shit.
It's great.
Take that shit out now.
You're being cruel?
Take that shit out now.
Okay, what's your problem?
Take that shit out now.
We're just in the street.
But take that shit out now. Take that shit out. That shit ugly as fuck. That shit's ugly though. Like, look at your fucking hair.
It doesn't look bad.
That's ugly.
Please stop following us.
Yeah, well, at least she got her real hair. I don't even know what you got under that fucking shit. Your hair probably fall out, probably patchy as shit, LaQuisha. Probably can't even grow your shit. Probably why you got that bonnet on, right?
That shit is
and the other
ugly
thing is, here, let me look how ugly this bitch is, man. Look.
We wear that shit.
It's great.
Take that shit.
Look at her in the face. She ugly, bro. She ugh. Alright, she ugh. Alright, she's fat too. She's a fucking big back. Alright, her face is round as fuck.
Now.
Alright, you can see her in the face. She looks, man. She looks like she needs a nap. Alright, take that shit out now. And then look, let's go to the comments. Let's see. She's portraying the black people really good, right? She's doing so much good for our people. Let's see. Jealousy's not attractive. Yeah, this dumbass. It's from Vikings, so it's Nordic. Nah, it was black people that originally did it. And the original black people were the original Vikings were black. Bet you didn't know that. It says some, not most. It says it can either or. History shows that Vikings and Africans had good trade relations, so it's possible that the Vikings picked it up from Africans, and that would be not Africans, but Jake Moore or wherever they were, depending on the time. Says Celts from Ireland and Scotland had braids too. Braids are a completely different thing, and they did it in a different way. All right, they weaved their ponytails. All right, so don't try to play that shit. So right here it says braids are ancient, originated 3,000 years ago in Africa by tribes long before Vikings even existed. So why is it called a Dutch braid? All right, it's just dumb, man. Because they take things. All right, why is America called America? All right, why is it Why is it the white man's land and not the Native Americans' land now? Because they steal shit, dummy. Says, jealous because she's not wearing a silly bag on her head. And that's a white woman. All right, that's a white woman. Let's see what else they have to say. And black girls try to have straight hair and blonde as normal and natural. Live and let live. It's not yours. Says, tell her to take off her shower cap in public. These are all white people making these comments for the most part. What's about, they can't even speak right. What about the blonde straight wigs y'all wearing? You want to copy us? This person says black fatigue overdrive. Says, meanwhile, she's wearing a chef's hat, and we all know she just orders her chicken takeout. Says, none of her business. Throw her in jail. That's harassment. She looks great. The other woman is jealous. She do not look great. I will tell you that. But the other woman is probably jealous. It says, is this reverse racism? She's jealous because she's not wearing a wig. Is that a vacuum cleaner bag on her head? It says loudmouth with a shower cap covering up her bald head. It's true. She probably is bald under there. Very little hair. So it says braids are actually from Scandinavian people. Vikings. Oop, you don't know your history, and it shows. They're not. So there you go. You know, and they're all Viking. You know, Viking women did it before the blacks. Dirty, filthy. you know how it is. You black skin freaks, we did it first. No, you didn't. Just like you know, everything was you, and until you find out it wasn't. You look through history and it was a lie. Christopher Columbus wasn't even the first person to come here. Dummy. But you know, our people act like this and act a fool. And then here's another one. Here's another one that'll get you infuriated. Here you go.
Oh, well, we could do an exchange or in-store credit.
I just actually just want back what I paid for them. That's all.
But we
I
can't.
just want to put it on the card.
We can, do you even have a receipt?
Nobody ever said I needed no receipt.
Well, I mean, you need a receipt to.
I don't need a receipt to take back your shoes. Did nobody even wear them? You can look. Nobody put them on. So yeah, you can give me my money back.
But we don't do refunds.
Where it say that at?
It's right there.
It don't say that. That said no cash refunds, not no car refunds. Go ahead and get my money back.
We can't.
Yes, y'all can. Can I get a? Where your manager at?
Brandon.
Where your manager?
Brandon.
Where is your manager at? Because he act like he don't want to give me my money. And nobody even want these ugly ass shoes.
Brandon, please tell her we don't do no refunds.
Y'all do refunds because I did it before. So can you give me my money back?
Can you take her out, Brandon?
It's not right there. I don't even got to look at that.
Man, we can't.
You can give me the money back though.
I can't, man.
You can.
It's store policy.
I said you can though.
I can, man.
And you can. I'll knock everything off these shelves.
Ma'am, I'm gonna have. You're gonna.
I'll knock everything off these shelves if y'all don't give me my money.
Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to leave.
I'm gonna out everything down as a shell. You don't give me my money, man. Just do a charge back. Go dispute it with your bank. Tell them what was going on, and get out of here. And you got all that for a little kid, I think a little boy. And this is why, you know, Jake grows up being effeminate as hell and can't control their emotions because they got some N-dub ass fucking bitch as a fucking coon ass bitch as a mom. All right, out here fucking knocking shit off of shelves. And man, a lot of our people just need to be shot. I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of our people just need to be shot. A lot of them do get shot. All right, because y'all are just a waste of breath. You're 2/3, man. Biblically, 2/3. All right, let's go and get that. All right, let's go and get it. Let's go and get it. Let me find it. Zechariah 13 and verse 8. It says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. It's 2/3 of our people. That's Israel. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. 2/3 of our people got to get cut off and die. All right, because they can't get right. They cannot get right. All right, now you'll be back in the kingdom. All right, you'll get a portion of the reward. All right, because us as Israel, all right, we the Lord, all right, the Son, all right, who the world, you know, a lot of Jake would ignorantly call Jesus. His real name is Yahushua. All right, he's a Hebrew man with a Hebrew name. Jesus is a Greek name. All right, so it couldn't be the case. And J didn't exist until the 1500s, 1526, I think. I think I got it right. But yeah, man, you can't get right. All right, you cannot get right, so you have to get cut off and die. But yeah, Yahushua is going to share his portion with us. All right, so you're still going to get a portion of that in the kingdom after being shamefaced for a while, and you're going to be in a lower position than the elect. All right, which is the 1/3 that did right, that woke up and tried to do right, and well, really, it's not even about that, because it's it's whether you're predestined or not to be a part of the elect. But the elect has certain attributes how they act. Okay, and it's not like that. Okay, it's not like this. So it says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. That's the 1/3. All right, the elect. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined. And I will try them as gold is and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. So, we're going to go through hell. Lord, when we're part of the elect, we're going to go through hell on this side. All right, because we got to get all these impurities purged out of us. All right, that's why we go through afflictions and sicknesses and hells and situations that we go through and learning lessons. All right, Jake, they don't ever learn their lessons, so they got to be completely just burnt out. All right, they got to be snuffed out, and they got to come back in the kingdom. All right, they got to be reborn through the elect. All right, yes, there's gonna be sex in the kingdom. Yes, all right, that's how they're gonna be reborn. So, but you can't be acting like this. You're just a 2/3, man. Just a 2/3. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 7:9. It says, be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Now I want to get this in the Good News Translation, and it says, keep your temper under control. It is foolish to harbor a grudge. I don't really care for that version. I like the NLT the best. It says, control your temper, for anger labels you a fool. All right, and it makes you look like a fool, man. When you go here, God damn it. I'm gonna have to keep on blocking these out over and over and over again. Keeps on trying to go back to my account. And I don't need no weirdo trying to DM me. But yeah, man, you act a fool. And it makes it makes you look foolish because of your anger. All right, we all get mad, but getting mad in the middle of a store, everyone's gonna look at you, and you know what they're all gonna say, because most people are racist. They're gonna say, "Look, black woman, look at her, look at the black woman, look." Yeah, that's them. That's how they act as a people. And you get us all blamed. All right, fools, man. Our people are fucking fools.
That's not
Who's
yours,
this?
is it?
Liars too.
You got hundreds?
Yeah, I got hundreds.
Where is it? Let me see the
You
rest.
dropped that on
I
the
dropped
ground,
my
by the way.
money.
I don't believe it.
It's mine.
I have a hard time letting go of 100. You gotta prove
Why?
it. Let me see the rest you got.
It was my only 100.
Can I get a kiss for it?
Ew, stop.
The hell?
Can you get my money?
Hey, look. Here we
It's
go.
mine, guys.
Two fucking gorilla ass baboons.
Yeah.
Jake man, effeminate.
No,
Alright.
No, it's mine.
Save a hoe.
It's good. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, he can take it. It's fake, you clowns. You guys are clowns. It's fake. See you.
Yep, it's fake, you clowns. And yep, there you go. Again, acting fucking ridiculous. Acting ridiculous. Let's go look the comments. Maybe it's a little bit better. Let's what they say. Is this the black culture that everyone says is great? Of course, usual suspects. Imagine getting beat up because your homegirl lied about a fake $100 bill being hers. Yeah, and guess what, bro? She ain't gonna suck your dick. All right, it's like you for the vulgarity, brothers and sisters. But yeah, these guys out here like that, you're gonna get some sloppy toppy or something. You ain't getting shit. You ain't getting shit. She ain't gonna do nothing for you. Says she was ready to let him fight, knew and she was lying. Average suspect activities. The culture we are all told doesn't exist at its finest. Bro, I hope they see this. Usual suspects. Super little kids. Well. Clown, and then the ninja, of course. Clowns. You see this one. What else? Just the N. You know what he's saying. What else? Ashamed of nothing, offended by everything. This person says nig, nig, nig. What else do we got? Usual color, usual suspects. This person says naggers. Yep, black people. All right, this is negros en vehículo blanco. What does it say? White something? Careful, blacks and white vehicles. That seems to be someone from the Southern Kingdom. So, or Northern Kingdoms, like you. This is just a picture of a bunch of monkeys. This person says black at it again. They're not wrong. They're just black. What else? FBI statistics demonstrated. Fucking spider monkeys. Typical blacks. Negrosity behavior. Black equals thief. Usual gurs. All right. You know what they mean by gurs. Negro in black clothes, look like a chopped chin. Only a black person would be this passionate about something they found on the streets. Typical suspects. What else do we got? This person says fuck Snickers. All right, you can. Nig's gonna nig. What else do we got? Black culture auto response. Monkey see, monkey do. And you see how they talk about you, Jake, and they already don't like you. And look what you've done on camera. And you see the white guy setting it up. All right, and that motherfucker, that cracker is gonna get his too. All right, the Lord's gonna get his ass back because he set that shit up. All right, trying to make black people look bad. He specifically dropped that in a black person to know. All right, he's specifically trying to make black people look bad. All right, so the Lord's gonna get him. He's gonna get his own. All right, but you Jake's trying to stealing. You're not supposed. Hey, that's against the commandments, man. You're not supposed to steal. All right, thou shalt not steal. All right. And thou shalt not bear false witness, but you do that too. All right, let's go to the comments of this black woman. Maybe they were better. Let's see what they said. Maybe they're better. Ghetto, loud, and ghetto. America's tired of this shit, and we're tired of this loud mouth. Typical ghetto behavior. Never ashamed, always offended. But stereotypes are racist, right? Usual suspect button. Ghetto fatigue. What else? Genetically unable to control childish behavior. Common sense has left the room. Let's see. 2 gorilla emojis. Typical animal. Mrs. Nick Kerr took a pear prom from the shelf. You can get that. Put the last name Kerr and the first name Nick together. You'll get it. Usual suspect. This is what we're fucking tired of, bruh. Typical black woman, we all know. Black privilege says she can. The fatigue. All right. This is why America is getting sick of their behavior. Black fatigue. Usual suspects. Trash culture. Social Security is hilarious to me. She pointed the sign. Black woman mentality. This person said bigger. You know what they're talking about. Typical monkey. Black fatigue. Uncivilized animal. Typical shit. Gross. Jigs aren't even bottom of the barrel. They're the scum of the bottom of the barrel. Jig is, of course, stand for jigaboo. I have a fever and it's called black fatigue. This person says, it's not all black people are naggers. These people right here are called niggards, just like we call white people trailer trash. Walmart shoplifters names. It's the same thing. You can't even formulate a sentence. I don't think you have any right calling anybody names. Let's see. Black fatigue is insane. So black women are so docile and sweet. They are actually, but this type black woman is different. There's a difference between black women and N-dubs. All right, and this is an N-dub. So here's another one.
30s are total, bro. Card? Bet. Tap that real quick, bro. Alright, bet. Oh, I think the card declined, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it declined. You wanna retry? Alright, shit.
Let's see, flash a gun and they run out. Let's see, the comments gotta be nice on this, right? Oh, always them. Black fatigue. African American culture, saw that coming easy. Pointing a phone like a gun. Why are stores closing in our area? Single black mom raised behavior. I'll agree with that one. Disgusting culture. Always the usual suspects. Whoever they stole the card from already canceled it. All right. You know, all these different things. So that's Jake. That's Jake, man. Always acting a fucking fool, man. Always acting a fucking fool, and ugh. And y'all white people say, "Oh, we got black fatigue." Hey, look, we got 2/3 fatigue too, man. We're sick of these fucking 2/3. All right, and we know you lump all Jake in, all right, because of the color of their skin. You just lump us in with, good, honest, working citizens get lumped in with, ghetto ass fucking ragamuffin ass kids, man. Baby kids are going on the street acting fucking fools because all you see is color, man. All you see is color. So you're gonna get you. Don't think I'm affirming anything you fucking crack a lacking ass crack a honkies have to say, man. Because I'm not. All right, because y'all motherfuckers are gonna get when you find out the Lord's black. Oh my God, you're gonna when he comes back and you see a so-called black man in the sky. Oh, you're gonna freak the fuck out, and it's gonna be hilarious. All right, but no, we know our people got issues, man. But the way you do our people at the same time, if this was an Asian doing it, you wouldn't treat it like that. If this was a white person doing it, you wouldn't say that. All right. But because it's our people, all right, now it's all usual suspects. And hey, remember, nobody kills more people than white people. You say, no, black people kill more people. No, black people kill more black people. Okay. White people kill more all people black, white, Latino, Asian, African, Middle Eastern, right? You kill more any people. Okay, we don't have bombs and nukes and AK-47s and all this crazy shit that y'all got out in war zones. You kill more people, not us. Nice try though. Look at the statistics. Verse 9. This is Ecclesiastes or Ecclesiastes, excuse me, 7 and 9. It says, "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry." For we already got that. Sirach. Did it not go through? This is verse 11, 20, Sirach, or Ecclesiastes 28 and 11, and I'll get 12 as well. It says, "And hasty contention kindleth a fire, and a hasty fighting sheddeth blood. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. And both these come out of thy mouth." Now, this is talking about when you get an altercation. This is good information for you, Jake, to know. If you get an altercation and you're already in a bad situation, someone, "Oh, you act like a bitch. What you gonna do? You gonna do something, punk?" All right, you don't. Yeah, motherfucker, bring it, man, bring your chrome, man. I'll bring you my chrome. Get your chrome, I'll get my chrome. Get your piece, I'll get my piece. Now you're gonna get shot. All right, now, and you just had a situation where it was already a spark and you could have spit on it and say, "Hey, man, look, I ain't having no issues, man. If I offend you, my bad. My bad. Look, I'm just trying to get home. Look, I'm not even trying to fight you like that. All right." And look, if they keep on going and keep on going and keep on going, and you got to do something. I'm not talking about shooting, but if you got to defend yourself, they won't back down because they try to fight you. Yeah, you can fight it out. All right, but really try to avoid that situation. And really, most of the time, you can get out of that situation early. All right, well, you got an issue, like, "Oh no, I didn't mean anything by it, man. I'm sorry if you took it. I would just be very careful with your words. I'm not going to give you advice because I don't always choose the best words. So, but just try to get your way out of it, man. If at the end of the day you got to fight, you got to fight. All right, but yeah. So going on, if you already have a bad situation, all right, and this works, what we're talking about today, all right, blowing on a spark, all right, and this is more, and that's more talking about an altercation. But Jake is essentially, you're blowing on a spark when it comes to how these Edomites already think about it. You're blowing on a spark and making that bonfire grow higher and higher, man. All right, so let me get that same. I won't be able to because that's in the Apocrypha. That's all right, but yeah, man. So Shark 28, and actually, I will try to get it. Yeah, so one on my phone, the GNT doesn't get it, but it will get it in the Bible Gateway. Bear with me. Slacky brothers and sisters, bear with me. Let me grab a drink here. Sure, it's the one from today. I'll be drinking some stale ass water. Ciroc, 27-9. That ain't it. I must have fat fingered it. 28 and 12 or 11, 12. And it reads, an argument that blazes out suddenly can lead to violence. You can blow on a spark to make it glow, or you can spit on it to put it out. Either way, you do it with your mouth. All right. So, and there's another scripture that says, more people have perished by the tongue than by the sword. Okay. So yeah, just know that. And you, Jake, you go in these situations, you start screaming, and then you end up getting shot. And that's another situation, man. Jake is just orderly as hell, man. And we love our people, but the 2/3 Jakes, man, get the hell on our nerves. So let's get Proverbs 25 and 28. Okay. It says, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. So let's get that in the Good News Translation. It's pretty plain, but let's get it. It says, if you cannot control your anger, you are as helpless as a city without walls, open to attack. Now let's get the New Living Translation. We got a dog out here. Dog barking around. What the hell? Anyway, Proverbs, same 25 and 28, same scripture. A person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls, and I like the NLT version out of all the other translations other than the KJV the best. A person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls. It's usually gonna let everything in, okay? And you don't want that. All right, Jake gotta have some self-control, man. All right, and you don't think, from time to time we don't have thoughts like that. We control it, man. We control it. All right, y'all don't control it. Y'all are fucking untamed. All right, you just just going and doing whatever the fuck you want, whatever. Like there ain't no repercussions, and there are repercussions, Jake. All right, there are repercussions. We get mad too. We think, man, I'd like to fucking deck this guy in the goddamn jaw, this disrespectful motherfucker. But we don't do it. You want to know why? Because we got, wives. Some of us have kids. We got jobs. All right. We can't be affording to go to jail. All right. And acting a fool. Because really, at the end of the day, you hit someone, you get a little bit of gratification for what? That one hit. Bop! Oh, yeah, motherfucker. And then you either go to jail or he goes and gets a gun, or you do it somewhere and he finds you again down the line. And now you have a permanent beef and he shoots your ass. Or his friend shoots your ass. Or something, man. It's just, look, man. So, look. What's this? I don't want to load. The husband leaves the wife because he can't deal with her being in the truth. Is the wife okay to remarry? No. That sucks for you. But that's it. Maybe that man will die, and that'll be a mercy that Yahweh Shem Shai has on you, and then you can, but nope. Anyway, Isaiah 1 and 21, it says, how is the faithful city becoming harlot? That's talking about Israel. How is the faithful city becoming harlot? Harlot it's a whore, all right? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. Thy silver has become dross, thy wine mixed with water. Now tell me, if you sat down at a restaurant and you ordered a wine, and they came and gave you a wine, and it was only a little couple drops, and they poured it all the way up with wine, would you want, or with water? Would you want that wine? It's not even wine at that point. No, you would not want it. If someone said, "Oh, this is a gold necklace, but it's only got it's 100% gold, but there's only like 2% 100% gold in it," right? The rest is like mostly like dross and some other shit. You wouldn't want it. You're like, nah, man, give me. I want the 100% pure gold throughout it. All right, I don't want no coating, 24 karat coated. No, I want it all to be pure gold. Right? It says, thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth gifts and followeth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them. So, in verse 24 it says, therefore saith the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of my enemy, of my adversaries, Slakia, and avenge me of mine enemies. It says, and I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away thy dross, and take away all thy tin. So, and you can keep on going on if you want down through 28. I'll actually continue doing it because it's actually good. It says in verse 25, and I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away thy dross, and take away all thy tin, and I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed with judgments, and her converts with righteousness, and the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together. That's a big one. And the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. So guess what, Jake? You want to keep on being like this? You want to keep on giving the enemy fuel for the fire? You want to keep on giving the enemy wood so they can build a bonfire and acting like a fool? You don't want to get right. You don't want to know who you are. You want to keep on calling on God and Jesus Christ instead of Yahweh Shemi Shai. You want to keep being black instead of being an Israelite. You want to keep on being Mexican instead of being an Israelite. You want to keep on being Native American or some other version of Latino instead of being an Israelite. Well, guess what? The Lord's going to snuff you out. He's going to put you out because you're being, you got all this dross. You don't want to get right. You don't want to find out who you are. You want to, it's our culture. That's not your culture. Your culture is an Israelite. All right. Your culture is as the chosen people of the Lord. All right. But you don't want to be that. You want to be out in the world like being hood. All right. You want to be a representative of what Esau put you into. All right. Moved you into these red line ass places and all the fucking poverty that went there. You want to be representatives of that and not of your royal lineage, through the priesthood, Yasharallah. All right. Israel. You don't want to be known as that. You want to be known as, I'm a hood, man. Don't you know where I'm from? I'm from 3rd Street, man. No, you ain't from 3rd Street. You're from Israel, man. All right? And you're just acting a fucking fool. You're acting ridiculous. And if you give the enemy wood, he'll build a bonfire. So if you're going to act like that, I hereby take away every Jake's ability. Not that I can, but y'all cannot complain about the white people no more. All right? If you keep, the white people just paint us as bad. You cannot say that unless you are actually in this truth, all right, and doing this work and doing right. If you're out there stealing and robbing and yelling at fucking, retail workers and people just doing their jobs, you can't complain about the white people painting you bad because right now you're being bad, all right? You're acting a fool, all right? So until you change your behavior, you cannot complain about that. Yes, the white people fuck with us regardless of if we're doing good or bad, absolutely. But if you're doing bad, you have no right to complain about it because you're fucking being bad. You're like a little ass kid that can't get right, man. And the Lord's gonna give you the ultimate spanking, man. It ain't gonna be good. It might be your death unless you decide to have mercy on you and wake you up. All right. If not, it will be your death. So that's the lesson. I'm gonna close out with that. Lord, what was edifying? Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.